I want to ask you about, you both have little kids, and I wonder what you think about raising your kids here in the future of America. Waj.
Well, you know what? So Nayyera is basically like our Jackie Robinson, because what she decided to do, she decided to marry a black. So she married a black man, and she had black and brown kids. And I'm being facetious, of course. Hopefully, people can
No,
sense
but
my,
literally the translation in foreign languages very often comes down to a black or
black.
the
Yeah.
blacks.
So she's
Right?
like,
When people
Nayyera,
don't say, when
but she's so
Americans don't
pretty.
say black people, they say the blacks. I'm like, oh, you've told me a lot about yourself. Got it. Okay.
So yeah, so like Nayyera is like this trailblazer because she's the daughter of Pakistani immigrants, educated, she made it, went to the White House, she's pretty, she's on TV. She could have gone
You've
anybody,
never
and
called
they're
me
like,
pretty before. Thank you,
but she
Waj.
married a black. What will the parents think? And so it's very important. And it's one of those things where I'm sure she didn't want to do that. She's like, I'm gonna be a trailblazer. I'm gonna be Blade, the Daywalker. She like fell in love with the man, but her having a black husband and a happy, successful marriage and these biracial kids is a test for not just America, but also for our communities that still suffer from internalized racism and whiteness. So with that, Nayyera, how does it feel to be Blade?
It's a lot. It's a lot, right? And I gave birth to my second child in the pandemic, so that was like a whole nother thing. I'm just glad that I had the first birthing experience in something considered more normal, where you could actually be around other human beings. But yeah, I love when I tell Black people that I have a Black family, and they're like, "Oh, baby, how'd that go down?" And you tell white people that I grew up with, like, New York liberals, for example, like, "Oh, that's wonderful, that's great," and I'm like, y'all don't know, do you? Because it is generally understood that Asians can be hella racist. Like, people know this, right? But we don't talk about it because, yes, Asian Americans have harassment and challenges and issues as a community writ large. But the idea of Black and brown solidarity is still a very new and tenuous thing. And all you have to do is, spend time in a high school in California, and you'll see some of the tensions that are simmering between Latinos and African Americans. There in New York, it used to be the Korean grocers and Black communities. So all of that is part of that mixing up of people and confusion that comes out of what we call white supremacy, which is when you show up in a country as an immigrant and you look around, you're like, oh, who has stuff and who doesn't? Okay, got it. I'm going to try to be like these people over here because they got all the stuff and power, right? And you that idea is called proximity to whiteness. And somebody of my skin tone can do some of that. Somebody my husband's skin tone, we still haven't figured out which Crayola crayon he is, but he's somewhere in the range of mahogany. Like, he can't do that. There's no proximity to whiteness for him. He is Black. I tried to tell my kid this. So he's in kindergarten now. And I tried to tell him not about proximity to whiteness or colonialism. I tried to tell him about that he should know that sometimes if he hears the word Black people, that people mean daddy and him and grandma. And I included him in this. And he goes, but we're brown. I'm like, yes, I understand. But skin color is not actually a Black crayon, but I just want, it's very silly. I was like, I agree with you. It's very silly. I just want you to understand what people are talking about. And if you don't like it, or you hear something you don't like, make sure to tell me. And that was it. Like, that was our race discussion for kindergarten. I'm like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do.
I don't want to tell you how to parent your biracial. But I feel like you should have told him that there's more than him, grandma, and daddy, Black people. I feel like just that you left out all of the rest of the Black people, and he's going to think there's only the three until he really gets out there. And because
I want him to know that when he sees Black Lives Matter signs, they're only talking about him and his dad.